Hello everyone, I am Pritha from StepUp Analytics and today is Power BI session 7 of mine. So as discussed in my last sessions, I have shown a few of filtering and then report level filters, page level filters, how to deal with the blank values and certainly other concepts as well. Today, as I said in my last video, that I'm going to talk about drill through feature of Power BI, which is a very important as well as very useful feature which is available to us. So for that, first we go to Power BI desktop. I open Power BI. It'll take a few seconds. Okay, to start with, let this open and then let me talk about Power BI drill through feature a little bit. What is the reason that we use drill through? Drill through is used when we want to interact with certain details of certain data sets. Like suppose I have a report made and visualizations made in the report in the first page, and then I have a few details of that particular data set, that particular report, and to interact between these two reports, we use the feature of drill through. Drill through actually helps us, as the name goes, as the word goes, drilling through one page to the other page, that is from one report to the other report, and we get into deeper part of it, the inner part of it. So how does it work on it? Like how do we get inner insights of the data using drill through features that will be shown today. So for that, I do get data first. As discussed in my previous classes, I have to I have to input the data first and then I work on it. I have two datas which I have been working since last few classes. The first is the customer income and then the customer information. So I import both of them. First I do for customer income. I load the data and it's getting loaded. Yes, it's done. Just a little bit bigger inside so that it's easy for me to understand. Then I go to customer information. These few steps, the import steps, are very common for each and every report that we do for obvious reasons. So in customer information, again, like shown in the last few classes, that this column names has to be changed. Little bit of data manipulation that I have to do right now. I go to edit query. If you've forgotten why I have done these and why I'm doing this edit query thing, so please get in touch with my previous videos so that you can understand what are the steps required and why do we need to edit query, when do we need to edit query, and what are the different these options are there, how to use them and when to use them. Just get in touch with the previous videos, you'll get to know it. So column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is to be replaced by the row just next to it, customer state, education, gender, and employment status. I have shown in my previous videos how to replace them. That is, use first rows as headers, and then it's done. I can go to close and apply. And the query is getting changed. And these column names is replaced by the original column names that we require. Also, for checking the relationships, yes, the relationship is created. And when I put my cursor on the relationship bar, I see the column name customer getting highlighted, hence proof that the customer the customer is common for both, and hence they get linked up, they get related automatically. That's a good feature for Power BI. And it's done. So why do we have to see the relations, and how do we see the relations or create relationship if it's not made? So these things are recorded in my previous records, please get in touch with those. So for today's session, I will show the feature of drill through. So we see here in the filters option, we have lots of levels of filters, that is report level filters. We have page level filters, which we have discussed in my just the previous session. We have discussed what it's used for and how is it done. So today the left out one is the drill through feature, and we will go and we'll analyze this part today. We'll talk on this part today. We'll learn this part. So when I put my cursor on drill through filters, a line pops up just next to my cursor explaining the reason why do we have to use drill through filters. I want to read the line. When one of these fields is used in a visual, you can right click the data point to navigate to that page. This page will then be filtered to the value you select in the source visual. I hope you did understand what it's all meaning. I'll explain one by one part and take you through the ride of drill through filters. Basically, what we have to do is we have to drill through our visualizations, and we have to make it such interactive so that when we click on a certain part or a certain field of any particular visualization that we want from any particular report, it goes to the inner details of that particular attribute or that particular field. So that's what you call drilling through. That is drilling inside the visualization and taking out the information, necessary data from it, so that we can analyze it or use it for any other calculative purposes as well. So firstly, we want in the page one, suppose we want the details to be kept. And then in page two, we need another page as well. In the page two, we'll go and make the report. So let me just rename the page, and I keep it to details for your easy understanding. In page 2, I keep it to report. In page 2, I'll make report. In page 1, I'll create the details. Suppose I make a table and I fill the table with certain values, the informations like customer, their education, their gender, their employment status, then their income, location code, state, and the vehicle class that they use. I make the table a little bigger so that it's easy for us to understand and see. Okay, so and I go to this values column and do a little bit of editing. Why? So that's easy for me to understand, making the text a little bigger so that it's readable at least. Okay, so I have details of my data sets. That is, I have customers, education, gender, employment status, but their corresponding incomes, their locations, states, vehicle classes. So everything I get to see here in one shot in a table, and this is the details I want to store at present. And in the report page, I want to create a report, or suppose I create a visualization on these particular fields that we have, these particular demo tables that we have. Suppose firstly I want to go for, suppose, funnel, and then I want to know the income of groups of education level. So I put education field in group and my income field in values, and then I get the structure. So to make it a readable one, I sort it by income. And how to sort, why to sort, these things are also discussed in my first few classes videos. So if you want to know it, go and get in touch with it. So I have income by education, that is, I want to know by what educational changes my income changes. So I see that for college levels, this is certain income. Then for high school or below, we have certain income, bachelor's, certain income, master's, certain income, doctorate, certain income. And this Washington, again, it comes here and it makes no sense. So as discussed in my previous video, how to remove the unwanted uh, fields is that in two ways. One, we can put a slicer on it and then we can filter out the unwanted part. Or the next one, which we can do is we can go for report level filters, and I drag and drop education here. And for education, I select everything other than Washington and it's gone. So I'll go for the second option, that is report level filters, than putting a slicer at present, because I do not want the slicers to be shown right now in my report. So I go for the other option of removing the unwanted part, that is by the report level filters. So this is one visualization that is made. For example, I create another visualization, which is the pie chart. I drag and drop it here. And suppose I want to know the amount of income by the vehicle classes. So that's how it is shown. We have the 4-door cars, like the people with most, the people who has 4-door cars has the maximum income. Then I think is the 2-door car, then SUV, then luxury SUV, and the smallest one is the sports car. And when we put our cursor on uh, each of the names or each of the categories, I get to see the income, the sum of the income, and the percentage of contribution towards the total income of that particular class. So this is another one that we have made. And the third one and the final one, suppose I want to make a table. I put the table. And what I want to show is, suppose employment status. I want to show their income. Let me just drag and drop properly. Yes. And suppose their vehicle classes. So that's how. And then suppose if I wanted to make it count, so this is also there. Plus, if we want employment status to be another one, add it, we can add it here. Yes. So in this table, I have dragged and dropped employment status 2 times. The simple reason being, I want to see the employment status, the names for each one, as well as I want to know the count for each one. Why? To read the table, I can see that 3 disabled person, that is for the first one, the first record, 3 disabled person, their sum of income is 31,659 and they own 4-door car, all 3 of them. Again, if we go to another disabled one, that is 2 disabled person, their income is 20,616 and they own, both of them own SUV cars, and there is no more disabled person. So we have 5 disabled person in total, where out of 5, 3 of them owns 4-door car and 2 of them owns SUV, and their breakup of their income is also given. Simply we can read the other one as well, the employed, medical leave, unemployed. So like this we can see the total of the income status plus the total of the income that we have here. We can get it. Again, I just make it a little more readable so that it's easy for me. I increase the size of it. So it's done. So now what we want to drill through is that I want to suppose drill through the value of, for example, I want to drill through the value of vehicle classes, and I want to see the details of it, which is kept in the details page in the some other report, in the details of some other report. So how do we drill through? That is, I want to see that whenever I click on two-door car, I get to see this report. Again, if I want to know any details about SUV, the details of SUV pops up here. So I want to know corresponding to each vehicle class, for example, I want to see that how, what are the details of it from this report. So in other words, I want to make an interconnection or an interlinking between details and report. So how do we do this? Firstly, we get into details page, and then I go to drill through filters. In drill through filters, I want to drag and drop the field, that particular field that I want to drill through. Like I said, I want to see, drill through the attribute of vehicle class, and I want to see the details of each class of vehicles one by one. Whenever I want to click it, I want the details of it to be shown. So what I do is I drag, sorry, I have to go to details here. I drag and drop the vehicle class and put in drill through filters. From here, we can filter out any number of classes that we want, or if we want, we can do for all classes as well. So I make it for all classes, and instantly I see that there is an arrow that pops up here. This arrow is the drill through arrow. How does it work here? It's written, we have to press Control and then click on this arrow to go to the previous page. So this arrow ultimately creates an interaction between the two pages. Suppose I press the Control key, and then I go and I click on the arrow key. The previous page is being shown, that is the next page is being shown, or the previous page which is being shown. So there are only two pages here, so obviously the next page is shown for us, that is this filter. Now when we click on two-door car, I see there is an option of drill through, which was not there at present. How? I just want to make you show this also. Like suppose income by education. So in income by education graph, I do not have any explanation or any hint or a pinch of vehicle class included in it. Correct? So if I right click on college, I get to see only see records, show data, exclude and include. That's it. I do not get to see an option of drill through. Why? Because we have put filter of drill through only for the vehicle class attribute and not for education. So that's why this doesn't work here. But on the other hand, if we go to vehicle class, income by vehicle class, and I see suppose two-door car and I right click on it, I get to see an extra option of drill through. And then we go to this details. This details is exactly the name of the page which contains details. So I have named it as details. So the name has come as detail. If I suppose change the name to some other, suppose data, it will come as data. So whatever name you give to the page where the data, the details is being recorded, exactly the same name comes here when I right click on it and we click on drill through. So I click on details. See, only the details of two-door cars come here. We had many other details here, like for example, I go to the previous page, Control and click on the arrow, and then I go to the details page again, only the details of the two-door cars because I have selected the filter as two-door car. Suppose I want to know the details of four-door car. So I right click on it, I go to drill through, I go to details. I get the details of four-door car only. The details include the states where the four-door cars is being used, the location code, the income, employment status of the customers, the education status of the customers, the genders of the customers, and also the customer ID. We get to know which customers particularly uses four-door car. So this is the usage of the drill through. Drill through actually helps us to go to the inner detail of that particular column or class that we have. Not for everything. Like till now, in the details column, we had all kinds of records possible because as I have shown before, I have created the table taking into account all the details that were present. But if we want to see only for the four-door cars, that is exactly possible like this. Again, just a note, it works on only on the visualizations that has a hint or a pinch of attribute which is kept as drill through filters attribute present in that particular visualization. It doesn't work on income by education. When I right click on suppose college, no drill through option occurs only because there is no involvement of the vehicle class in this particular visualization. So it doesn't work. But again, for this table, it works. How? I'll show you. Suppose this disabled. See, it works. Drill through works. Why? Because in this particular table, I have the column of vehicle class also included in it. Hence, it works. So if I want to know that the information of disabled people who owns four-door car, so I click on disabled, I go to drill through, I go to details, and it shows here. So all the four-door cars gets listed here. For example, if I want to go for luxury SUV, employed luxury SUV, I go to drill through, I go to details. So there's only one record who is employed and who has luxury SUV. So it is being shown. There is only one customer, UL64533, who is employed and who owns luxury SUV. And the other details are also being shown. Suppose I want to see that person on a medical leave who owns SUV. I want to know, again, to repeat, a person who is on a medical leave and that person owns SUV. I want to know the details of that person. So I right click on it. I go to drill through, I go to details, and I get this. The people of SUV, and there is medical leave, there is disabled also, there is employed also. So we can see the medical leave person, the one person who has medical leave and also owns SUV. We get his particular details also, his customer ID, his education. Then that person is a male, so we get to know that, his income and his state. He's from California. We get to see that. So this is the role of drill through. So again, to start with, for this drill through, when I remove the filter, drill through filter, see, I get the whole table that I had previously. But when we click on one filter or the other, we get to see only that particular values, that particular information, which is obviously very handy because when you submit your project to your clients or to your manager, the person will obviously want to see details of a particular class or details of a particular attribute, and it's very easy for that person to see because there is a feature of drill through here. He just clicks on it and then he gets to see the inner details of it. So it's very handy actually. Okay, so next what we can do is we can add another drill through. Suppose location code. Location code is also there in the drill through. We have added location code in the drill through also. So here, have I done anything for location code? No, I haven't done. So let's remove this location code for now. And I go for education, suppose. Because there is field of education here, income. So I add drill through education here, and this vehicle class was already present. So I use this arrow to go to the previous one. I go to the previous one. Now, before, in my previous example, I have seen that this table, this particular funnel chart did not get affected by drill through because vehicle class was not present in any way in this chart. There was no involvement, and we have only included vehicle class in the drill through filters. So this particular chart does not get involved, we have seen before. But now let's see what changes does it happen when we have added education also in the drill through filters. So I right click on college. Now this drill through is being shown. So you see the difference, like before what it was and after now what it is. Before, when we have added only vehicle class in the drill through filters, then this report did not change or show that an option of drill through because this is not affected by vehicle class. Unlike the other two tables, that is the income by vehicle class and this table which had the involvement of vehicle class in it very specifically, so drill through options were shown. But now as we have added education also in the drill through filter, now this chart will also show an option of drill through. Suppose I want to know details of bachelors. So I right click on it, I go to drill through, I go to details, and the bachelor information is being shown. All the customer ID of the bachelors, their genders, then their employment status, their incomes, their location code, their state, their vehicles, vehicle class also. So this is how we get to see what drill through works on and why do we use drill through, how do we use drill through. Now, another thing which is to be explained, that we see this arrow here, which can be, resized, made short or bigger or anything. What we can do is we can change its settings also. Suppose if we want it to get rotated, suppose I want it to be rotated by 90 degrees, see it moves upward. If suppose I want it to be 180 degree, it faces rightwards. Like when it comes handy is that when in this case, for example, I want to go from details to report page, that is from left to right. So this arrow shows a direction from left to right. So right to left, which was there before, it makes no sense because we're not going to the previous one, but we are going to the next one. So we can change the direction of the arrows. It's very easy. We can change this colors also. Then we can change filling also. We can do many other things. I make it to the default one, which was present. The 0 degree, which was present. This was the default. We can rotate obviously. But another feature is that we can use some other arrow in place of this default arrow. Like this is for default, of course, but if we want to make it a little more, colorful or, very catchy, eye soothing for us, so we can do that as well. Suppose we can replace this with any other image that we want. For that reason, we have this option of image, that is inserting an image. I click on image. I have already downloaded an image of this back arrow. It can be any other image that you people want, but I have downloaded this back arrow which I want to use it instead of the default arrow which is being shown. So I click on open. So this image pops up, it's been shown. I resize it to a smaller one. How do we change is that we click on this image, I get this format image. In this format image column, I move on to link, the option of link. It is made off, I switch it on. I switch it on means this link of this image is switched on. Now when I put my cursor on this image, see it's written below, control plus click here to go back to the previous page. When this link was off, when I keep my cursor here, this line is not shown. That is, the link of this particular image is not activated. As soon as I make it on, the link gets activated. And then we have two types, that is, we can make it as bookmark, we can want it as back also. Here in this particular case, I want it to be the back arrow, so I keep it as back. And what we do is we drag and drop it here on this image. So now this image takes the place of the previous image. Now if we press on control and click this, it will work. I have pressed the control key and then I have pressed this particular key and we have gone to this report page. So it works. So this way we can use Drillthrough and even customize it using, these particular images. Suppose now I want to remove the Drillthrough. I go to Drillthrough filters, I delete filter, I remove this as well. I go to report, and now if I right click on college, see the Drillthrough option is not shown. Again, if I go to two-door card, again this Drillthrough option is not shown because we have removed filters on Drillthrough. So this filter is not being shown right now. So this is how we can introduce Drillthrough. We can get rid of Drillthrough. We can customize the options of Drillthrough by inserting images that we want. Any image you wish to put instead of the back arrow, you can by activating the link and putting it in its place so it works properly. So this is all about Drillthrough filters today, and in the next session we'll talk about how to use R scripts in Power BI. We will club up two different packages, that is the visualization package of Power BI and the analytics package, the analyzing package of R, which is more of codings than visualizations. So we can club it up and we can use R codes in creating beautiful images in Power BI, how to use it, how to do it. We'll do an introductory session on R scripts in Power BI in my next session. So till then, this is all for today. And if you want to know more about Power BI or any other analyzing tool, you can subscribe our channel of StepUp Analytics. For any doubt, clearance, or any other questions that you have, please comment on the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help you guys, or you can get in touch with StepUp Analytics for that reason. So till then, thank you so much and bye.